Hello, 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 YouTube. What's going on today, everybody? Welcome back to Real Talk Therapy 101 with your girl, Ebony. Thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation with me today. So, this week we're talking about self-care. We're bringing this thing to a close with self-care, and we are our theme, so to speak, is self-preservation. It is what we're doing this week. So we know that when we first started talking about self-care, it required us to go all the way back and bring us to the different stages of being an adult. We know that there's early adulthood, middle adulthood, and older adulthood. And we went through the age groups, what puts you in each one of those categories, and how we fit in what we do. And so now we're looking at how to preserve what we've built up with where we are and what we've gone through thus far. So let's get right into it. Today's custom made shirt says, self-preservation is vital for survival. Then you have your Real Talk Therapy 101. So as we come into our little area, today our Coach bag of the day that's featured is this little handy dandy tote. You guys have seen it when it was on the reversible side, but this is the other side. So Coach is so good that they will sometimes give you two bags in one. And I was looking for this bag yesterday so that I could try to feature it for Veterans Day. But again, here it is, because you have the little remnant of the flag of the United States. But nonetheless, we found it today. And our kicks for today are our nice little blue Vapor Max, different shades of blue. To match our shirt today. All right, so let's get into this thing. Let's talk shop, as the people will say. Y'all know I'm unconventional, so we ain't even gonna say what the people will say. Let's talk self-preservation and why it's vital for your survival. So we learned yesterday that self-preservation now means protecting you no matter what. You've got to protect you, your boundaries, your space, your mind, your finances, your, everything, everything that is a direct tie to you. And as you can see in the shirt, it has like let me come down a little bit. The vital, when you go to the doctor, right? Or when you go to the emergency room or urgent care or anything like that, one of the first things that they do is they check your vitals. They check for your pulse. They check for your heart rate. They check to see, they might draw blood. Vitals can be a lot of different things. And I have a cousin that's a doctor and a couple of cousins that are nurses. But one of my cousins, I can't say her name, but she'll know that I'm talking about her. One of my cousins is in this field. And when I say multi-talented, so my girl can do your hair and then tell you what's going on with you medically and give you some of the best advice ever. When I wasn't wearing braids and would go to her and get my hair done, that was therapy for me, talking to her and having her listen to me and give me good feedback based off whatever it was that I was sharing with her. Well, she will be able to definitely help me be able to tell you guys what all they look for when you come in, to the ER or to the emergency room or wherever. When you go to a doctor's appointment. So like I have to go to the doctor today. It's vital that we take care of ourselves. Women, have a mammogram yearly. Men, get your prostate checked yearly when you reach a certain age. If you start feeling out of sorts and you don't feel like yourself, go to the doctor. And 9 times out of 10, we do that. So we start making sure our physical health is what we need it to be, where we need it to be, and we'll go to the doctor. We may even call the doctor and make them put in time for us. And that's what this mental health stuff is. It's the same thing. And I'm sorry, I should have used the word stuff, but just our mental health, it's the same thing. I'm not feeling right. I'm not feeling like myself. I don't want to get up and get ready today. I feel like crying. I'm just tired. All of those things are worked out when you start having conversations about your mental health. So when you go to the doctor, and if your vitals are not what they should be, because they have these little ranges of what your cholesterol should be, what your heart rate beats per minute or whatever. They have these little boxes. And it's important to see if you're inside the box or if you're on the low spectrum of something or the high, end of something. There was one point in my life I had low iron. And I remember having to take an iron pill. But that came from them checking, my vital signs. And so I'm saying all of that to get around to when it comes to our mental health, it's vital that it's checked and it's taken care of. And the other aspect of something vital in our lives, we hear about our vital records. So if you've never known or heard or understand what a vital record is, it is your birth certificate, your social security card, your marriage license, and your death certificate. There are some other examples of vital records, but we're going to break down how vital the records are that I just named out and how vital it is for you to preserve where you are right now in your mental health journey. So, like most of us, I don't know anybody, and I'm pretty sure there may be somebody out here, but I don't know anybody who was responsible for keeping up with their vital records before they turned 18 years of age. And what I can share about my upbringing, I didn't get my vital records from my mama until I got ready to apply for jobs and apply for housing, somewhere to live. So when I moved out of her house, I asked for my vital records, and I shouldn't have had to ask for them. They were mine, girl. Why you ain't just give me my stuff? But I digress. But I didn't think about any of that stuff until I needed it. And I didn't realize how vital any of that stuff was until I lost it. And now I have to figure out where I need to go to get it, because the same place you go to get your social security card replaced is not the same place you go to get your birth certificate replaced. Your marriage license, wherever you got married. When we were preparing to get married, I didn't realize we needed a marriage license. And, my husband left all that stuff up to me. And it was literally a week or the week of our wedding. It was that Monday that I went online and applied for our marriage license, because we got married in a different state from where we live. And it was ready by Friday. But just imagine the type of chaos I would have created for not making sure that everything I needed to have in place prior to going to say I do wasn't in place. I had already invited guests. People were already preparing to travel. They had already booked rooms. All this stuff was going on. And if I couldn't have got a marriage license, we wouldn't have been able to get married that Saturday. So I learned how vital, how important it was to have these things when you need to have them. And like a lot of us, until you need your vital records, you really do not think about them. It's not important to you until you need them. So our mental health and self-preservation, it has to be important to us. Not just until we get ready to run into something. If we're dealing with an addiction, we don't need to not worry about what we learned in group when we're faced with something that we can't see ourselves past, or what we learned in treatment. You have to have that stuff at the forefront at all times. It is so vital that you remember the strategies, the coping skills, whatever it is that you need in order to function when we die, because we are all going to transition. It's important that your family knows where your life insurance policies are. Those things are vital. and that they're able to get your death certificate, because there are some things that your family will not be able to move forward with after your passing if they don't have a death certificate. And from my personal life experiences and having to plan funerals and type up obituaries and things like that, I did learn that the funeral home is the one who, gets whatever they need to get the death certificate. And then you can tell them how many ever copies you want or whatever. But it's just so vital that you keep up with those things. And it's so important that you have the other vital documents that you need just to get the vital document that you lost. So I can't get a birth certificate without a social security card and some other form of ID. Or you can't get your social security card without, these other documents, vital documents that make you you. Well, they don't make you you, but they're assigned to you. Your social security number is unique. Nobody else has it. Your birthday, somebody else may have, but it's still specifically yours if you were born, like I was born on July 10th, 1978. And I know there were other babies born July 10th, 1978, but that's my day. So you come into a realization of, oh my God, I can't do anything without the one thing that's vital. I can't move forward getting what I need. And again, same thing with your mental health. You don't think about it until it crumbles. But if you start using all of these different things that we've been talking about, if you start strengthening and loving yourself and being aware of who's around you and developing a sense of, that's too much, that's too close, I can't take that, I know you might need to get it out, but I ain't in a place to receive it. All of that in your development stage is what you have to work to preserve. It's vital for you not having a mental health breakdown later on down the road. It's so important for you to be able to recognize, I have to have this document, that document, be this way, go that way, do this thing, have this in order before anything else can happen. Because mentally, you don't want to flatline. Mentally, you do not want to have a breakdown. You don't want to be emotionally stuck because you weren't able to locate those things that are vital to your everyday life. And it's unfortunate because we don't think about that stuff as often as we should. We don't keep up with it like we should. Sad part, we have safes, different things. And it's like, I don't even know. If I need a vital record right now, I got to ask my husband. And that ain't good. But I need to know where my vital records are. When we got married, he didn't have to change a thing. But your girl had to get up after the honeymoon and go change my name on the driver's license. I had to change my name on my social security card. Now, my number stayed the same. My driver's license number stayed the same. But I had to change my name because I had gotten married. And you don't realize how important it is to need all those other documents before going to switch things over. And I felt like in the beginning that whatever I had that still had my maiden name attached to it, I needed to keep it. But for what? I've gotten married. I am still who I am. I've just taken the last name of my husband. So, it doesn't take away from me being who I was prior to me getting married. So I was able to start learning to let some of that stuff go. Just like a hoarder, we can hold on to stuff that we no longer need, we're never going to use. It's not even a part of what's going on with us right then and there. We're just holding on to it. We have to let that stuff go. You only preserve those things that are essential or vital to you. Those things that you're going to need today. Okay? I'm not asking anybody to let go of who they were. You just have to learn how to maneuver with who you are now. and who you want to be moving forward. You understand? There's a lot of back and forth about, what do I do now? Where do I go next? Where am I even going? What is my purpose? But remember, that stuff starts with you. There's nobody out here that can answer those questions better than you. There's a Mad Lion. I don't know if he was Jamaican or what have you, but he had like a reggae style song that said, gotta take it easy. What? Take it easy. And in there he says, things I used to do, me don't do them no more. Places I used to go, me don't go there no more. You gotta take it easy and stop doing the stuff that you used to do. We make living life so hard because we don't want to accept guidance and instruction the first time it's given. We think we know everything already, so we're not receptive to anybody giving us any type of advice or receiving anything. We gotta get out of that. Because you never know where your motivation will come from. You never know where your encouragement will come from. You never know, dare I say this? Yes, I do. Yes, I will. You never know where your blessings will come from. You know what I'm saying? But you do know that life at some point is going to come with some turbulence that's going to rock your boat. And sometimes it might rock your boat so much it's going to feel like you're falling over. But when you preserve that lifeline, when you've already sent out that SOS of distress for yourself, and you've linked yourself with a licensed professional counselor, or with a licensed clinical social worker, or with a certified alcohol and drug counselor, or with a certified peer support specialist, when you have aligned getting some assistance and establishing a support network, now you're developing self-preservation. And all you're doing is you're starting to put together your crisis plan. Because life is going to happen. People are saying now life be lifing. Or, the life hack. Somebody has hacked into my life and everything is going wrong. Whatever the case may be, something's going to happen that's going to require you to need somebody else in your corner. It's going to require you to have some help. Remember, way early on, I told y'all, my grandma said, proud to leave you hungry and homeless. People can't feed you if they don't know you don't have anything to eat. People can't offer you a place to lay your head if they don't know you don't have nowhere to lay your head. But when it starts getting real, you can't run from the pressure. Because if you don't have nowhere to lay your head because you chose to take your rent money and go get high with it, or if you don't have nowhere to lay your head because you chose to take your rent money and go spend it on a man or a woman, or if you don't have any money to pay your rent to have somewhere to lay your head because you took your money and went to the gambling hole, if you don't have the means to maintain your independent housing because you didn't know how to manage what you had going on, or you got behind when you didn't have a job, so you didn't call any of these places and ask for, hey, do you have some type of plan to help me get back on my feet? Preserve yourself. The resources are out there. The help is out there. It may be limited in some places, but it's available. And if you don't take advantage of what's available to you, then you're gonna stay stuck in whatever waters you're in right now. You're not gonna be able to go backwards or forwards because you're just sitting there not knowing what to do. You're not talking to anybody. You're not sounding this stuff out. And a lot of times, if you speak it out loud to yourself, that's not putting stuff in the atmosphere. Some people will say, it's just, hey, let me sound this out. And sometimes you just have to talk about the scenario. Manifestation and putting things into the atmosphere is when you speak something specifically into your own life. And we all know, we can manifest with our mouths all day long, but you got to get out here and put in some work. You got to get out here and do what it is you need to do to get the results that you want to get. You have to do that, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. So now you're in the hot seat, for real, because you've been taught so much stuff, and you got to be able to choose what you can use and how you will start implementing it. And implement is just a fancy word for how you're going to start using it in everyday life. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Who am I going to call to help me sound this stuff out? Can I look in the mirror and do an affirmation and say to myself, hey, Ebony, girl, you smoking hot. Best thing out there popping. You know, whatever it is that you say to yourself. Because, you know, we can get affirmations off the internet all day long. But I say make that thing, you know, personal. You know, make it what you need it to be so that it fits you. You know, I used to feel like I needed people to compliment me or to tell me that I was beautiful or to tell me, oh, you look good in that, or oh, you look, and I never voiced it. I just felt like, you know, I needed to hear it. Well, now, whether I hear it or not, I've already told myself. So I'm good to go. I don't need validation. I am the validator. I don't need anybody to tell me or assure me of anything anymore. I have become my own assurance. You're a part of my life, but you are not the end all be all of my life. And that's what you guys have to get to. Everything around you is a part of your world, and what you invite in, you bring in, but you don't lose yourself after the invitation. You know what I'm saying? A welcome mat, when it's worn out, especially if people just stepping on the WEL, it's just going to say, come. Oh, come to her. She'll do it. Go to her. She'll do it. Tell her about it. She'll do it. She'll feel sorry for you. She'll do it. She'll go without. She'll do it. Vultures. Takers. They don't give a flip about you. They only care about what they can get from you. Once you recognize that, preserve what you have. Them last $20 that you was going to get of them, what you going to do when your tank is empty? What you going to do when you need food in your refrigerator? Because can you call the person you gave your last 20 to? And that's when you got to be real with yourself. Can you make it to DSS to pay that bill before your lights get cut off? You knew DSS had crisis funds at the beginning of October like everybody else. If you didn't know, I'm pretty sure social media would have told you. Everything be on Facebook, boy. You have some town criers and some people. At least it used to be. I ain't been on Facebook in over a year. So, you know, I don't know. But on there, it was a lot of plethora of information. So if you're not on there, do like I do and ask some people that you know that's still on there what they got going on. But at any rate, once you find out, you got to use it. You understand what I'm saying? You got to do it. You got to make sure you're in the position to get what you need and do what you need to do. It's all on you. It's nobody else's responsibility. It's nobody else's, place, fight. No, none of that. It's all up to you. Now you're preserving who and what you are. Now you're making sure I can survive mentally because I know how to get myself up out that bed when I feel like staying in there. I know how to get dressed. Even if you get up, get dressed, and put on another pair of pajamas, that's progress. Just don't lay there. I'm telling you. Because that weight can get so heavy that it would be hard to get up. And every last one of you have a reason to get up, get started every single day. Because believe it or not, self-preservation is vital for your survival, but also for everything and everybody connected to you. Everything. I even want my enemies to win. Lord, when you do it for me, do it for every last one of them too, especially the ones who didn't want me to have. Especially the ones who were not encouraging. Especially the ones who were only around when I could do something for them, because now that I've preserved me, I removed the connection. But I'm still sending up, good things in the atmosphere for them to be okay. I don't have no enemies. And you guys got to get to that place. Just because somebody don't like you, don't mean you ain't got to participate and not like them. Don't fool with them. You probably don't see them nowhere that you be anyway. I'm running into that a lot too. Because I chose to remove myself. So when I see people, it's like, I ain't seen you in a long time. Well, I ain't moved nowhere. I still go to the same Walmart. I still shop at the same food lines. I still go see my mama. I still go see my grandma. My in-laws are still in the same place. I'm here. I'm around. But I guarantee you, if you shut off your communication to the rest of the world for just 1 week, you will find out who your real support system is. Because if they call your phone and it goes to your voicemail the first day, if it's somebody that truly cares about you and the connection, they're going to start dialing the other numbers that they have for you. And when they don't get anybody, now they looking for you. It's not going to take 7 days later for them to be like, dang, where Ebony at? Anybody heard from Ebony? Anybody seen her? Do anybody know what's going on with her? No. People who really care and want to know what's going on with you, they going to find you. My mom lived in the same place she did when I was in high school. So if at the end of the day, you really want to find me, my mama, she out there. My grandma, they out there. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, my family, some of them are still on social media. So that's how you know when people really want to connect with you. When you shut yourself off on purpose, and this is twofold. Shut yourself off so you can get your mind right. So you can focus. So you can get all that other clutter out of your head. But then see who's really checking for you. See who's really trying to see what's going on. And if you can't turn your phone off, if you have an iPhone, I don't know nothing about an Android, but if you have an iPhone, put it on Do Not Disturb and see how many people truly try to disturb you. Because the disturbance should come in making sure you're okay. So it's vital for your survival. Sometimes you got to cut the world off just to figure out how you're going to survive. Sometimes you got to cut that TV off. Sometimes you got to cut social media out. You got to take a break at some point in life. You have to preserve the you that you found and you're okay with now. Now, if you're still stuck in some areas and you're still trying to work your way through, that's okay too. Nobody ever said this was going to happen overnight. I just want you to try harder today than you did yesterday. Because you matter. You matter so much. You have no idea how much you matter. Your opinion, your appearance. When people truly value you and are engaged with you, when you are not around, they miss you. And it shows. And those who really, really love you, cheerleaders that are in your corner, that are around you simply because of who you are and not what you bring and give to them, they'll show up for you. And then you'll realize, now I can start developing this crisis plan because now I know I can call Sally Sue. Because Sally Sue let 2 days go by before she came on my job looking for me. You understand what I'm saying? The people that love you, they're going to come looking for you. Your true cheerleaders are going to look for you when you fall off. But this week's lesson or intervention or coping strategy or whatever you want to call it is for you to be able to look for yourself. It's vital for you to see these signs within yourself and start doing something about it. Until you do, you're going to be stuck out there in that same part of the water that you're trying to get up out of. So we don't want to flatline emotionally. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be dead out here stinking emotionally because we can't get ourselves together. You want to keep that flow going, and you see that big heart in the middle of making sure I'm good. That's real talk for you right here on Real Talk Therapy 101. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, thank you for coming. Please go back and view and watch and see what we have going on. If you haven't already, please subscribe, link, share. And get prepared for some big things. I'm going to keep saying that until these big things get here. Looking forward to our Feature Friday as well. We'll be featuring another local company here in my area. My first two people were my babies. They men now, but they'll forever be my babies. And if you haven't already subscribed to OG Perp, or I can't remember. Y'all know it's on there. I know it's Perp. But it's Trayvon Campbell's gun channel, or gun education, again, part of self-preservation. His channel on YouTube, you can check out last Friday's video. The information is posted there. And I want you guys to have a good one. Be safe. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.